When we look at a group of teenagers, they seem wildly different on the outside. Personalities, interests, dreams, fears. But inside their minds, most of them think in surprisingly similar ways, except for the one or two whose brains work differently from the start. Not damaged, not broken, simply built with another logic. They are autistic. Autism isn't a disease. It isn't something to cure. It is a neurotype, a way the brain is wired. And for those on the spectrum, the world does not arrive in smooth, manageable waves, but in sharp, raw, overwhelming detail. Timo is one of these minds. Since he was a toddler, his mother sensed something different. He avoided eye contact. He stiffened when hugged. He never returned smiles, and playdates with other children ended with tears, as if the rules of human behavior were written in a language he couldn't read. By age 4, Timo still spoke only 2 or 3 words at a time. His mother searched for answers, and eventually, Timo was diagnosed with a mild form of autism spectrum disorder, a label that terrified her and freed him. Because for the first time, someone explained that Timo wasn't behind. He was simply processing the world differently. While most children look at dogs and automatically group them into one category, dog, Timo's mind does the opposite. He catalogues each one separately with its own details, structure, and pattern. His brain refuses shortcuts. He doesn't generalize, he analyzes. This extraordinary attention to detail makes his perception more objective, less biased, almost scientific, but it also makes everyday life a challenge. Because every new experience is brand new. Every sound, texture, social cue, or routine change feels like starting from zero. Timo's senses are dialed up. His hearing is sharp enough to pick up every voice in the room at the same volume.
5, 6, 7,
Imagine
8.
trying to understand someone while dozens of conversations scream into your mind at once. Imagine eating when the texture of food feels too intense, too vivid, too aggressive. Imagine walking barefoot on grass and feeling every blade as a shock. This isn't misbehavior. This is sensory
Seriously,
overload.
what drill is that?
To survive,
No clue, but she's
Timo
intense.
builds structure, rigid
Kinda
routines,
mesmerizing, though.
repetitive movements, perfect patterns, every toy aligned, every step precisely placed. If someone counts to 8 but stops before 10, his world fractures. If a pattern breaks, panic fills the gap. It looks like stubbornness to others, but for Timo, it is logic. It is order in a chaotic universe. Timo also struggles with social cues. Human emotions don't follow rules, so they confuse him. People change tone, facial expressions, meaning, all within seconds. It's unpredictable, illogical,
Timo,
exhausting.
You have to talk to me about this.
He doesn't avoid
I
people
can see you're upset,
because
but
he
shutting me
dislikes
out won't
them.
help.
He avoids them because he cannot decode them. For 4 years, his therapist showed him cards of faces: angry, sad, happy, scared, teaching Timo to read emotions the way others learn to read letters. And slowly, painfully, he improved. He recognized emotions more accurately. But he still wasn't drawn to social interaction, because while others talk about small things, gossip, feelings, Timo's mind is somewhere else entirely, finding patterns, solving logic, building order. He has two close friends, both neurodivergent like him, and he couldn't wish for more. But here is the question people rarely ask. Do we need to change Timo? Or do we need to change how we look at Timo? Because autism is not something to fix. It is something to understand. Many autistic people grow into brilliant engineers, analysts, artists, musicians, or creators. They see patterns others overlook. They stay objective when others get emotional. They notice details the rest of us filter out. But they also live in a world that demands eye contact, small talk, flexibility, fast responses, and constant sensory noise.
Look at
A world not designed for minds like theirs.
beautiful, sweetie.
Maybe the problem isn't their neurodivergence. Maybe the problem is our narrow definition of normal. Timo doesn't need to be cured. He needs to be supported, given tools to navigate a world that overwhelms him. And perhaps society needs tools too, to navigate people like Timo, because the more we understand neurodivergent minds, the more we realize something important. Autism is not a lesser way of being. It is simply another way of being. And often, it is a brilliant one. Think deeper. Question smarter. Boost your brain. This is BrainBoster, expanding the way we understand human minds.